from SewingGold.com, and I'm going to show you how to change the oil on a self-oiling machine. This is a Juki DDL-5550. This video would go for any sewing machine, other brands too, that have an oil pan that has a screw to release the oil, and I'll show you that screw. It's got a screw in the oil pan. You loosen the screw and the oil will come out of the bottom. What you're going to need for this right now is going to be, of course, new oil and also an empty bottle. I'm going to be using this empty bottle here, and I'm going to drip my oil into here. You can use a larger bottle, a bucket, whatever you want to use. The first thing you want to do is tilt your machine back to let the oil drip out. If you do want to remove the head, you don't necessarily have to remove the head to do this. You could always do it from here. It's a little harder here, but I'm going to do it like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the screwdriver. This is the one that came with the machine, and I'm going to go inside and loosen the screw that's inside the oil pan. I'm going to show you that in a minute. What I want to do is let this drip, completely drip. You may want to let this drip for about a half an hour. For just this video, I'm not going to let it drip for a half an hour, but let it drip for a half hour, get all your oil out of there so you could replace it with new oil. Okay, so I'm going to bring this a little closer. And I'll pause this for 1 second, reset my camera, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the screwdriver and I'm going to put it in the oil, and here's the screw here. Sometimes this screw is really tight. I made a video on how to loosen this screw if it's too tight. What you want to do is, it's very difficult to see in this video just because the oil is sort of blurring up the screw, so you can't really see what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put a link to the other video on how to loosen this screw if it's too tight. Hopefully mine's not too tight. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm not going to put the other bottle underneath the oil pan yet because I want to show you that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen this screw. Mine obviously was a little looser. Yours may not be this loose. Okay, so I'm going to not loosen this all the way because I don't want the oil to come out of the bottom. And I'm going to grab my camera and go underneath now. So you're going to be doing this at the same time. Let me just grab this and I'll actually show you. Okay. So I'm going to grab my empty bottle. Okay, here's my empty bottle. There's the screw, and then we're going to go underneath the machine here. Okay, you see this little nub coming out of the oil pan? That is where the oil is going to come out of. I'm going to take, like I said, you could use a bucket and you could put it right on here. If you have good aim, you could leave this down there. I don't have that good of aim. So I am going to just cover this hole. Okay, whoops, cover that hole. So I'm going to just put it right over it. You could do it like this, whatever you'd like. It's not going to overflow this bottle, because this bottle is basically where the oil, it would be filled, and probably up to the line where it says about 450, just above 450. Okay, so I'm going to put this back in my tripod and I'm going to loosen that screw, and the oil is going to come into here just like this. Okay, so let me put this back. I'm going to pause my video for 1 moment, put it back in the tripod, and I'll show you. Okay, so now I'm going to have that all set up. Bottle underneath. Loosen the screw. Take the screw out. And now the oil is just going to drip into the bottle. Okay? And just wait till it all comes out. It depends on how dirty your oil pan is. You're going to want to clean this out afterwards. Just grab a dirty rag, or not a dirty rag, a clean rag, and then wipe out the remainder of the oil, and then you will add new oil. You could also move the end of the oil pan on the left, tilt it up, let more of the oil drip down that hole. Once you get most of this oil out, I'm going to pause this for 1 second. I'll show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so now I'm going to clean the oil pan out. I've just got some paper towel here. You can grab a rag, whatever works for you. I just clean that screw off. And now I'm just going to make sure that all this oil goes out. Like I said, yours might be dirtier than mine. You want to change this when the oil is turning like a yellowish color or brown. Once you have most of it cleaned off, doesn't have to be perfect. Make sure if you have any pins or anything around here, make sure you clean that off too. There's a magnet which comes with these newer machines that you'd want to put down here, right by this when you put that screw back. Oh, let me pause this for 1 second. Okay, now that I cleaned out all this, all the oil out, I'm going to put the screw back. Here's my screw. If you don't want to get dirty, you can wear some rubber gloves. Grab your screwdriver. Oh, you know what? One thing I want to mention is there's a rubber gasket underneath. Make sure the rubber gasket did not come off. It's underneath this screw. Let me show you. Oh, there, it did come off. So this is the rubber gasket. Make sure that goes first, and then your screw. Okay, and then tighten it pretty good. Make sure it's fully tightened. All right, so now we're going to grab some new oil. And since my oil wasn't all that dirty, I'm going to reuse it, but I'm going to show you. You can either use Juki oil, or you could use generic lily white oil, which is perfectly fine. Whatever you want to use is up to you. Okay. Oh, the other thing you might want to clean off before I refill, whoops, would be underneath here. Just wipe this piece off just so it doesn't drip. I actually put my bottle down there and was lined up and letting it drip in there. My floors are not the greatest in the world, so I don't have to worry about that, but if you have nice floors, you don't want to do that, or if you have carpeting. Okay, so here's my oil. What I want to do is just fill it up to where it says high. If you can see there, where it says high. We're just going to pour it in. Okay, as long as it's in between, you're fine, but I would put it up to where it says high. If you don't have enough oil, this is perfectly fine as long as it's not below low. And when you do run the machine and it looks like it's low, really there's oil circulating throughout the machine, so you don't have to add oil. This machine's not going to really burn oil or anything like that. It just uses very little oil that's going to get wasted out. Probably more than likely just a little bit by the hook assembly that you might see a little drippage in here. Other than that, that's the way you change your oil. So, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below, please. I am Steve from SewingGold.com. Last thing I'm going to do here is tilt the machine back. Okay, there we go, all set. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'm Steve from SewingGold.com. Thank you very much.